As we take a look now at the 20-car starting lineup, they'll go 30 laps here at Ventura. Billy Boat and John Kofer in the front row. In the second row, Tony Stewart, the points leader, the winner here last week, and Rick Hendricks. Row 3 on the inside, Jay Drake, a winner here about 3 years ago, and George Ito, who finished second last week. The fourth row, Sleepy Trip, the 7-time champion out here in the Western States Division. And there's Paige Jones starting outside row 4. In the fifth row, there's Jimmy Sills. He'll take you on a ride with the camera. And Mark de Beaumont in car number 11. In the sixth row, Robert Dolacki and Dan Borst, the driver taking over the Steve Lewis Performance Racing entry. In the seventh row, on the inside, Danny Burton outside. The 8-time winner of the Turkey Night Grand Prix from Arizona, Ron Flying Shoe Schumann. In the eighth row, Robbie Flock. There is your defending series champion. Jordan Hermansader is having some problem getting that car in gear in car number 91. In the ninth row, inside Pete Shula and outside Kenny Irwin. And in row 10, Walt Johnson and Keith Roush. Roush had to be push started, so he goes to the back of the pack. He is the Rocky Mountain Midget Association champion. So we have that champion here. We have the Badger Midget champion and Danny Borst here. We have the defending Western States champion. I tell you, you've got the best of the best out here right now, Larry Rice.
We sure do. That Dan Burton won that semi-feature. He's a sprint car champion up in Chico, California. So we've got champions of every description. But look at this guy right here. Can he do it again? He's the man right now. He's hot, and he's looking good.
Tony Stewart, formerly from Rushville, Indiana, now resides in Indianapolis. Told us he'd like to do some all-pro stock car racing as well as a full plate of Silver Crown and midget rides this season. We had some contact right there at the start. And look at this, 3 abreast off the corner down the backstretch. Kofer has the lead going into the fourth corner. First lap, it is Kofer. Hendricks up to second. Billy Boat rides in third.
And Johnny Kofer did a nice job. He could have backed out of the throttle and fell way back there when he got bumped, but he didn't. He stayed right in the throttle. Oh, we got a couple guys together.
2 cars, 3 cars together. Now the one is the 7 car of Dolacki, the number 11 of DeMomont. And it looks like the
Walt Johnson in the 31 car.
31 car. It looked like number 72 was able to get going. That was Ronnie Schumann. That was the advantage of having a clutch on these cars.
That's right. He pulled the clutch, just kept going. But the other 3 guys that got down there got sideways. Didn't.
The green flag flies. We are racing again on lap number 2. This is a 30-lapper. John Kofer out in front.
That's Hendricks in second place in that 12 car. He's moved up nicely into the second position. Oh, look at Tony Stewart. He gets up there, hits in the middle of a bump, and he got that thing up on 2 wheels. First on the right side, and then on the 2 back ones.
That's the first time we've seen him do that in 2 weeks out here at Ventura. He won last week. There is the battle for second and a pass for second.
Boy, oh boy, was that a nice...
And Stewart goes to third. So Billy Boat up to second. Stewart goes to third. And Hendricks drops to fourth.
Boy, that car, that's Tony Stewart's looking at it. It's got a little smoke coming out of that thing. I don't know. That front end is really lifted too. When he hit that real wet dirt, you see the smoke coming out right there.
Doesn't seem to be slowing him down, though.
No, I don't think it is right now, but it could be steam. It could be getting a little...
Oh, Boat pushed out, and look at that. Stewart's up to second.
He has got that thing really set up tight. That's what's jerking. Oh, he got hit right there. His boat drifted back up into it. See those race cars? As those race cars dig in, the front ends lift up. That's what they're doing. They're getting such great bites coming off the corner. The whole front end just coming off the ground, and they're actually running on 2 wheels down the straightaway.
5 laps complete. A battle back there with Jimmy Sills on the right side. Page gets a little high, and Sills gives him a little shot and goes on by.
Yeah.
Jimmy Sills, and now he tucks up behind Sleepy Trip in the red 67 car.
Page is saying, thank goodness for Nerf bars, boys. Let me tell you, because if that Nerf bar hadn't been there, he'd have been right over wheels upside down.
Now back to the front of the pack, and you can see the battle tightening up. The top 3 right together, and Stewart had a look on the low side. Stewart, that white 36 car, again jumps the berm.
Yeah, when he gets up on that cushion, he is so tight. That race car wants the bicycle. He's a lot better off running down a little lower. But he can't do it and get around these guys. He's got to get up there. But look at Boat. He's right down on the bottom. He's giving Kofer all he wants.
Yeah, but here comes Stewart on the bottom. And now we go back. We look at Sleepy Trip in the red 67 car. George Cerruti didn't make the trip. He stayed home tonight. He's watching on television. His son Gary is here. And now we ride along with Jimmy Sills. Watch him saw on that steering wheel. Watch inside the cockpit as he works the front wheels to remain in control. That's the Dave Calderwood Beast. This car comes out of Bakersfield, California.
I see that no fear sticker on there. You got to have that just
And there is Sleepy in the 67 car, the 7-time Western States champion. He pulls up behind Hendricks in that white and blue number 12.
You notice the smoke coming off his tire. It's not smoke coming out of the exhaust like we thought earlier. All of them have got smoke coming off. It's because the dirt is wet. They're spinning those tires. The tires are hot. So it's actually steam coming off the tires.
A change up in front, Billy Boat. Now is your leader. Stewart runs in second. Down the backstretch, Boat, the black number 15. And there's the white 36 of Tony Stewart halfway down. 15 laps in, 15 laps to go.
And you notice both those guys, first and second position, Boat and Stewart, both running right on the cushion, right on the edge of that dark dirt up there, which is the cushion. That's the fastest place. And if you run it perfectly, it's going to be awfully hard for the guy behind you to get around.
They go around Walt Johnson, the 31 car. There's a look at your leader.
Did you notice that time Billy Boat dropped down off of that just a little bit? When he dropped down off of that cushion, he got real sideways coming off the corner.
Well, let's see if traffic can play a role now. There's a look at Robbie Flock. Now, there is the guy that could have won $2,000 from the Wins Challenge if he could just win this thing.
Yeah, he was going to switch to that number 24. He said it was luckier than number 1, and from looks where he's at, that might have been right.
After this week, he may want to. Back to the front of the pack. There is the gap between first and second, running about the same groove around this racetrack.
Yeah, Billy Boat's running right on that cushion. As long as he made a mistake, he got up over the cushion right there. And when he did, it gave Tony Stewart an opportunity, but he wasn't quite in the right spot.
Well, Billy's making that car as wide as possible.
Yeah, he's making that car very, very wide right now, trying to keep Tony Stewart around there. As long as he's trying to run down off of that cushion just a little bit to make that race car wide. When he gets right up against the cushion, his chances of making a mistake are much, much greater. That's the reason he's down about 2 or 3 feet, but it's not quite as quick down there.
Back with Jimmy Sills, the professor who has the driving school now in midgets and sprints. 21 laps now complete, 9 laps to go.
That's Rick Hendricks right in front of him. He's trying to get around. Rick Hendricks has fallen back a few spots, but Sills is working on him pretty hard.
We go back now to the lead. And some heavy traffic out in front. Oh, he almost got the fence. And look at this. Is he going to make the move? Can he get by him? They bump coming off the second corner down the backstretch, and Stewart has it. Now Stewart slides high and almost spins out.
Man, oh man.
A yellow flag on the racetrack.
Billy Boat might get his position back. I don't know whether they finished that lap or not. Boy, those guys were banging and bumping over there. Boy, oh
well,
boy.
We have to question why the yellow, because we see nothing on the racetrack. Perhaps some debris, something fell off the racetrack.
There's the debris. Look at
right
the debris
there it
right
is.
off
Yes,
to the
indeed.
right.
A good shot from the cage cam, provided once again this season by Cart. The last green lap, and now we restart with Boat out in front, Stewart second.
This is a tremendous break for Billy Boat, because now he not only has the lead back, but he's got no lap cars in front of him to worry about. I think that's maybe why he made that mistake. He was worried about that lap car.
Now Kofer now is in the 4th position, make that 3rd position, as we watch the battle for the lead off the second corner.
You notice both cars. Oh, look at Stewart. He's going to try the inside. Can't do it. Both cars coming off of turn 2. As they get in there, they look pretty good. But as they come off turn 2, they get real, real loose. It gets real slick over there. Oh, that time it was much better, much straighter. Well,
now you're riding with the 4th position driver, Jimmy Sills. Jimmy in the DuPont number 4, battling with Hendricks for 4th position. Back to the front of the pack, side-by-side contact again. That could have done it right there.
Right there. Yeah, he might have messed the front end up a little bit when they made contact, because that was pretty hard contact, but Boat isn't going to give him anything.
Well, we heard Tony earlier say he'd like to vie for both the National and the Western States Championship the same season. That's never been done. There's a look at Page. Oh, look at Page right up behind Sills. They make contact, and a car gets upside down.
Rick Hendricks and Sleepy Trip came into that accident a little bit late, and that's Hendricks that's upside down in that 12 car.
And there is Sleepy in the red 67 car. There's a Runian car as the safety crew. You have to praise these guys. They are there almost immediately when those cars stop.
Johnny on the spot. They have been all the time we've been out here. Last week, this week, Hendricks, you can see he's moving around. He's okay. He's not hurt, but it's a tough break because Jimmy Sills got out a little bit out of shape, and everybody else came in and banged into him. Tough break for Sleepy Trip. He was back there running pretty good and just got caught up in it.
Well, let's take one more look. With 27 laps complete, we were watching a battle with Sills and Page Jones coming up behind the black 71 car.
Sills got into that bump, got up over the cushion, got out of the throttle, and then got back in the throttle, came right back down across in front of Page Jones, hit him. Then all three of those cars, Jones, Hendricks, which was upside down, and Sleepy Trip got together, and Hendricks was just
and up in front of the pack. Meanwhile, the leaders were doing this right here. Can he get him? It doesn't matter because the yellow just came out. Oh, man.
Well, I tell you what, Boat is making that race car.
You flip it and spin an album that we have on television only. You can't buy it in a store. 3 laps to go. Boat goes for his 4th feature win in Western States competition.
Well, Billy Boat just has to run without making a mistake. He got an excellent start. He actually pulled away from Tony Stewart a little bit. But 2 more laps to go without a mistake. And, oh, look at Stewart. Get into the
Stewart
corner.
is very, very aggressive. And at this point, he has to be. He can't. Oh, look at this. Look at this move. Pushes him out of the way. Oh, he's not going to make it work. 1 lap to go. Wait a minute. The yellow's going to come out.
We got 2 cars upside down there. That's Kenny Irwin is one of them.
Jay Drake is the other one. Irwin's climbing out of his car. Jay Drake is still on his lid.
He's moving around, though, Gary. You can see him. I think he's okay.
Well, it's wise, though, as a driver to stay in that car, right? That's the safest place for him to be until they get the cars either stopped or slowed down. Kenny Irwin walks away. He is okay.
Yeah, you can see that they got some sort of a problem down there. Let's see if we got it on tape here, Gary.
Well, there's a look at Kofer in the blue.
Kenny Irwin.
Oh, Irwin right behind Kofer.
Just caught that cushion big time. Got upside down real hard back there. He just caught the cushion with that right rear just a little bit tight.
There's Schumann got spun around.
Boy,
and,
oh boy.
All right, now watch the battle again at the front of the pack. Coming down for the white flag. He hauls her into 3, meaning on the low side, we're talking about Stewart in the white 36.
Look at that. He banged Billy Boat. He hit him pretty hard, and Billy Boat never even got out of the throttle. He just kept standing on the gas, turned that thing to the left, and forced Tony Stewart down there to get sideways. Excellent job by Billy Boat. He could have gave up right there.
Here's a look. Oh, Sills pulls off.
He's going to get back in the hunt. He's going to get started off again, but he pulled off during that caution flag for some reason, and now then he's going to get pushed back.
He didn't have that telephone number on there in that heat race earlier. Somebody got to him.
Somebody got to him during the intermission.
A marketing manager got to him and said, put that telephone number on your helmet.
You know, another kind of interesting thing is the guy that's up in 4th place is Dan Burton, a guy that we've never really seen run here before. He's running that car for Terry Caves, and he's a sprint car champion from up north. I'm not sure he's ever even driven a midget.
And then as we talk and look at Jay Drake wanting to get started again, sometimes it can be very difficult for a guy to climb into a midget after running sprint cars. There's not quite as much horsepower to get out of trouble. 28 laps complete. Billy Boat is your leader, but Tony Stewart knocking at the door. Kofer is 3rd, then Danny Burton, and Robbie Flock now is in 5th position. A good ride for Flock.
Another good ride by somebody. That's right. Robbie Flock has come from way, way deep in the field. Kind of taking his time, picked his way through, and he's up to 5th spot now.
He started 18th, and of course, if he could just win this thing, the extra $2,000 in the wins challenge. If he can't, it rolls over to $3,000 next week when we come back to Ventura. 1 lap to go, then we'll have the green flag, then a white flag, and the checkered flag. This could be the best 2 laps of racing we've seen in several years here on the Thunder Series.
Well, I said before the Billy Boat just didn't have to make a mistake. I was wrong. He's got to drive his rear end off if he wants to keep that 36 car Tony Stewart.
Well, once again, he gets a good jump.
Kofer made a little mistake. He hit a bump down there and got the front end up under him.
Well, the gap may be too big as the white flag comes out for Stewart to overhaul Billy Boat. Stewart won from start last year, and it looks like Boat's going to win it for the start this week.
Stewart went right up on the cushion trying to get that little extra momentum off the corner, but Boat drove 2 perfect laps.
And so Boat takes the victory, Stewart takes 2nd, and Kofer will take 3rd. Some excellent competition as we take a look at the veteran from Phoenix. Billy Boat takes the victory. That is his 4th in Western States Series history, and
Believe me, Billy Boat is never going to get leaned on any harder than he was leaned on by Tony Stewart in this race. Because he leaned on him 2 or 3 times with the right rear, with the right front, with the Nerf bar, with everything else on the race car, and Billy Boat just kept standing on the gas.
Stewart wanted the victory because, as he said earlier, he would like to go for both titles. He will miss at least 7 of these races this season. He'd like to build up a large lead before he goes back to run some Midwestern shows.
Well,
There's a look at Billy Boat.
You got to give him a lot of credit, too. He did everything there was to do on the racetrack. I mean, he tried everything, and Billy Boat just wouldn't give him an inch, wouldn't give him the chance.
John Lawson's rock and oil entry. Base chassis with the Gertie power plant pulls into victory lane. And I think momentarily we'll have a chance to talk to Billy Boat. I like that driving, sir.